Just so you know, Coolio, I cannot minimize screen. Awesome. Awesome. Thank you for being here. Today, Friday, a great day to be having this conversation about boundaries. So, I want to start off by reading a quote by Brené Brown in her book. What is this called? Atlas of the Heart. Fantastic book. Really goes through all the emotions that we experience as people in different circumstances. Highly recommend the book, Atomic Habits by, not Atomic Habits, that's another book, Atlas of the Heart. Oh my goodness, Atlas of the Heart. Okay, apparently we're having a day. Hello, Melissa. Thank you for being here. So anyways, Brené Brown says, boundaries are a prerequisite for compassion and empathy. We can't connect with someone unless we're clear about where we end and they begin. If there's no autonomy between people, then there's no compassion or empathy, just enmeshment. So I wanted to start off with that because we are naturally caregivers. If you are in my world, you care about people, right? You do. And you want to help people and you want to serve people. And likely you're female. And so we have a little bit different tendencies in the female energy than the masculine energy, but we want to serve others. And it can come from a place of sacrificing yourself. So I asked a friend yesterday, like, what questions you have around boundaries, and then she asked, like, what's a healthy boundary and what's an unhealthy boundary, and I was like, ooh, what would you say? And it was basically, her definition was like, what's selfish versus selfless. And I want to talk about that today because as a natural caregiver and a helper, it's easy for us to sacrifice ourselves. But I want to go back into defining boundaries as more so a mindset than an action rather than just a thing, right? Because we talk about boundaries all the time and we know we need to be setting boundaries and setting boundaries and setting boundaries. But then at the same time, we're like, right? So let's separate being selfish from being selfless. And this is where it comes back to your mindset and how you really view how money works, how business works, how your life works. It's your perception that you need to give, sacrifice in order to get ahead, in order to have a better family, in order to have a happier life, in order to, I'm going to debunk the happier thing in a minute, in order to attract more clients, in order to serve your clients, you need to sacrifice yourself. You need to be less so the other person is more. Are you feeling me on that? Are you feeling me on that? That's totally how I was. And I just want you to know that it doesn't make you a bad person for being selfish. So with that, I want to tell you a story. When it was probably a year and a half into my business already, and I had a lot of clients, but I was still making no money because I was charging way too little. And I was giving because my perception of value as a coach and as a person was that if I give more, then it's like they'll get their money's worth, right? So I have to be available 24/7 and take 2-hour-long phone calls and listen to 20-minute Voxer messages and listen to all the things so that that person feels like they're getting their money's worth. I said that on twice for a reason, right? So it's like we find our value based on how much time of ourselves we give. as a mom? Am I necessarily a better mom by sitting and watching TV with my kid 24/7? Not necessarily. What I do with that time that makes it more effective. So same within your business is what you do with your time is what makes the result easier, faster, all the things, right? So before we go on, I just gotta say, like, the COVID brain fog is a real thing. Is a real thing. So if I feel a little bit scattered, I have notes so I can stay focused. So if you see me looking down, that's why. But also, yeah, COVID brain is real. COVID brain is real. Let me just say. Anyways, so, okay. So it's not a bad thing to be selfish. My coach told me that a year and a half ago. It's not a bad thing to be selfish. More so, she questioned it. Do you think that it's bad to be selfish? And I was like, actually, yes. Because I grew up in a very Christian family in a Christian town. I went to Bible school. I did all the things to be a good, what I perceived as a good person at the time. And we've been taught that it's like, I've been taught anyway, that selfishness is bad. It's evil. That if you want to be a good Christian, a good person, you need to give of yourself to everyone else. And that's just simply not true, right? Jesus didn't become a good person because he sacrificed his life. He was a good person before that. And he didn't have to sacrifice anything to get to that point. It's not a church lesson. Not a church lesson. But that was my view, is that I grew up thinking that, like, I want to be a good person, right? I want to be a good human. I want to be a good wife. I want to be a good mom. I want to be a good business owner. I want to be a good coach. And in order to do that, I have to give of myself. I have to sacrifice all myself in order to achieve that. True, not true? Are you feeling me on that? So if you are on, I want to hear, like, are you feeling that you need to sacrifice yourself in order to get more? Do you need to sacrifice yourself to gain? Like, is that making sense? Like, are you resonating with that? Let me know in the chat if you are. So another thing that Brené Brown says was her favorite quote by somebody, I don't know who, but is to think about, this is what I want you to write down. And basically, this is your little homework assignment, because I always like to do homework because this is what makes it applicable and makes you actually take action on what, and it's not just learning, right? Split your paper in half, okay? What's not working? What's not okay? What's not okay for me? For me, for me, for you. Not what anybody else tells you. Not what anybody else tells you. But what are you saying? That's not okay. It's not okay for you to talk to me that way. It's not okay for you to treat me that way. It's not okay that I work on weekends. It's not okay that whatever. So make a list of things that are not okay with you. Okay, this is how we start to form some boundaries, but we're not going to call them boundaries. We're going to call them what's not working or what's not okay. What's not okay for me. So when you're thinking of that, of like what's not okay, start to think of like where you're finding some resistance. Like, where is there some resistance coming up in your life of like, that just doesn't energize me. That's actually draining me. So start to make a list. You can do it on the same list of all the things that are draining your energy. Okay, like just make the list. It's like maybe video calls are draining your energy. Maybe watching lives are draining your energy. And maybe doing lives are draining your energy. Maybe doing one-on-one calls, video calls are draining your energy. Maybe texting all the time is draining your energy. So it's important to write those things down so that you can get the thoughts out of your mind onto paper. I'm a big believer that, like, if you want to save time and you want to be more productive and efficient and all the things, you need to get the mind clear. The mind needs to be clear, because if the mind is spinning and it's all full and it's all chaotic, you're not going anywhere, right? You're spinning, 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 right? So one side of the page, What is not okay for me? Not okay. Mm-mm. Then on the other side, what is okay? What is okay? What energizes me? So let's start to make that list, because that's really fun and that's exciting. And those are things that like, ooh, this is how I can start to create and adapt my business that saves me time, attracts people to me, because you're living in your energy. You're living it because you've set boundaries that you have decided. That's what boundaries are. Boundaries are really a decision on your mindset. So boundaries is the decision on your mindset. I should write that down. That just came to me right now. Boundaries are the decision reflected from your mindset. So, yeah, what energizes you, and how amazing would it be to create your whole business based on what energizes you? So I've been doing lots of shifts in my business where it's like, I get energized from teaching. Like, I just love it. Like, I've been teaching spin classes since 2009. Before that, I was teaching fitness since 2006. I don't even know what I did before then. I wasn't teaching then. But basically, when I became a personal trainer is when I started teaching. And I haven't stopped since. What I've taught has shifted for sure. And that's okay. And but I love teaching. It energizes me. Whereas like sometimes sitting on a one-on-one video call, talking about the same things that all my clients talk about, that everybody always talks about, is exhausting. So that's a drainer. So the energy drainer, the energizer, energy drainer, energy energizer. What is not okay for me? Those are the things that drain your energy. So listen to your body. Where are you feeling the resistance? Where is like something not quite working, right? Where does it feel like it's a struggle? Write that down. Like, just be really honest with yourself. Write that stuff down. Then you can see it. Then you can manage it. Okay? So those things then become your boundaries, right? Those things become your boundaries. And so boundaries are a way to protect your energy. Because in business, I'm going to relate this back to business because that's what I do. I'm a business coach. Is that your energy is why people buy from you. I've had clients that signed up with me and like flat out say like, I don't know exactly why I'm signing up with you, but I'm just drawn to your energy. Same thing for you. I swear. And so you need to protect that. You need to protect that. Your business isn't created to be a 24/7 job, right? It doesn't need to be a 24/7 job that exhausts you, that takes away, that sacrifices yourself, your time, your family, all the things, so that you can make more money or serve your clients better. Like, I'm just so done with the I have to sacrifice myself so that you can rise. I'm going to say that again. I don't need to sacrifice myself so that you can rise. You don't need to sacrifice yourself so your clients can rise. It's not one or the other. Like, our society is very much like one or the other, right? You're for me or you're against me, whatever. And but what if it can all be at the same time, right? What if it can all be at the same time? So it's okay to protect your energy, and that's not a selfish thing. Protecting yourself, protecting your heart, protecting this is never a bad thing, right? It's all your giving, and everything stems from your heart and your soul and who you are, right? So protect that. Protect that. People buy because of who you are, not just what's in your head. Believe that. Believe that. Okay? It's not okay to be taken advantage of. You'll know when you feel like you're being taken advantage of. Like, I can't tell you what makes you feel like you're being taken advantage of. You just do, right? You know when your partner is taking advantage of you. You know when your kids are trying to manipulate you. You know when your clients are like, I know she just posted, don't text me on Saturdays, but I'm going to text her on Saturdays. You know when you're undercharging and your client's like, oh, I'm so glad she's undercharging me. I'm going to milk this for all it's worth. You know that feeling. You know it. So write those things down, like that you feel like you're being taken advantage of. See those things. Help your mind see where you feel like you're being taken advantage of, in business or not, okay? And it's not okay to sacrifice yourself, right? Not okay. Nothing is more important than you. We always hear you can't pour from an empty cup. I hate some of the fluffy things out there. Honestly, I'm not really a fluffy kind of girl. But at the same time, it's not okay to sacrifice yourself. And only you will feel when you feel like you're sacrificing yourself. So, like ourself, we're complex beings, right? It's not just our time. And so we're complex beings. If you're a life coach, you might already know about the wheel of life. If not, just Google the wheel of life and you'll find, I think there's 7 different areas of the wheel of life. So I'm going to give you a quick overview because I want you to identify what you value most of those 7 areas of your life, and then also to just do the exercise on your own of how you rank yourself on a scale in each of those areas, because these are the things that you value. So what do you value more? Because those are the things you're going to put boundaries around. So think of boundaries as the walls around you to protect what is most important to you. I don't want to feel like I'm in a box. No, this is the opposite. Boundaries should be freeing, not confining. So if your boundaries are feeling confining and restricting, then we need to readapt those, because the boundaries, I so believe, should be a tool to help you feel light as a feather, to help you feel light as a bird, right? Boundaries are there to help you feel light. So if you're feeling constricted and constrained and then that's not the right boundary for you, okay? So if you feel that way, let me know. But back to the wheel of life and the things that you value. So health. How do you value your health? Friends and family. How do you value your friends and family? Which is more important right now? Health, friends, and family. Okay? Partner, your relationships, your romantic life. How do you value that? What do you need? What boundaries? So I want you to start thinking about what boundaries, what is okay, what is not okay. So for each of these, what is okay, what energizes me, what is not okay. Okay, so you have your paper. What's okay, what's not okay, energizes, drains. Now the 7 categories: health, family and friends, partner, relationships, your personal growth, fun and recreation, your physical environment, your home, your office, whatever, and your business and your career. Okay, so list those things. What energizes, what is okay, what's okay to happen in each of those scenarios, in each of those aspects of your life. What is okay for you that you allow happen? Boundaries are the things that you allow and you don't allow. Okay, what are the things that you are not allowing? Okay, and I always say, going back to writing these things out, writing them out so that you can get them out of your head and so that you can be very clear with yourself, but then also so you can communicate those boundaries, because boundaries are useless unless other people know about them. Right? And so if your partner doesn't know that that you don't like it when they snuggle you at 3 a.m, how are they ever supposed to stop doing it? Right? If your client never knows that they shouldn't be texting you in the middle of the night and expect a response, they can text you all you want, but don't expect a response from me in the middle of the night. And if they don't know about that, how are they supposed to stop doing it, right? So you need to communicate those boundaries. So communicating those boundaries with clients can be right from the get-go. You can be this like in your welcome package, in your onboarding process. This is how it's going to work. This is what's not acceptable. Okay? Like, it's not acceptable to talk to me this way. It's not acceptable to text me at 4 a.m. and expect a response. It's not acceptable to whatever, right? Like the not acceptables. But on the other hand, I am here for you during these hours. I am here if you just need to vent. I'm here if you just need to cry. I'm here if you just need to celebrate. I'm here for this. So I'm okay with this. I'm not okay with that. You can put that out into your contract right from the get-go. Then I also like to do the maybe bi-monthly reminders every couple months, maybe every month, maybe every week. The reminders being like, okay, these are my boundaries. You pay on time, and I'm not doing video calls every week anymore. We can do a video call once a month. Are you on board? Okay, fantastic. Just checking in. Okay, thank you. Right? And it doesn't have to be a big deal, right? We make these stories like, we got to make these boundaries as like this big traumatic event and like make it a bigger deal than it really is. And it's a big deal to you because it's protecting you, right? So it is a big deal, but at the same time, it doesn't have to be a negative big deal. What if we could start celebrating each other's boundaries? It's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe that you are raising your rates and decreasing your availability. Like, good on you, honey. Good on you. Let's celebrate that. That's not for me, that's for you, right? So, yeah, so boundaries to save time. So this goes back to like what energizes you and what drains your energy. And so creating your business, adapting your business from whatever you're doing now, taking the things that drain your energy and just taking them off your to-do list. Just take them off your list. Stop doing them. If you're sacrificing yourself, your time, your love, your joy, nothing's worth that. Absolutely nothing is worth that. So if you feel like you're sacrificing yourself, that's the sign. That's a sign. Because business doesn't need to be that way. And so if you're available for your clients all the time, but at the same time, you're like dreading that like phone call, or you're dreading that sales call because you just hate sales calls, then don't do them. Don't do them. Don't do what drains your vibe, what drains your energy. Put the boundary that you are saying to yourself, no, thank you. No, thank you. I'm okay with this instead. Okay? The boundary is like, I say, no, thank you. Not for me. I'm going to do this instead. So have the option, right? So that then you can feel fulfilled because you're doing something instead, right? You're filling that vacuum, right? You're filling the vacuum. And so when you just say no, you're saying yes to something else. When you're saying yes to something, you're saying no to something else. Make sense? Are there any questions? Are there any questions? Because I don't like to do long trainings. I just like to do effective trainings. So I'm hoping that was helpful for you. And if you have any questions, feel free to send me a DM. Always here during the day to answer any questions. I don't do real coaching in the DMs because that's what the coaching relationship is for. I use my group programs to teach, and I use the coaching relationship to really like give you all my love and energy so that you can be expanded financially, emotionally, in all those areas of your life. That's how I view coaching. Okay. And so I do want to offer you, I'm like going to start launching this on Monday. And I did like a little pre-program of this last week called The Essentials. And it's really to help you save time. And it's setting boundaries around the things that you do in your business so that you don't do all the things. Doing all the things all day long just leads to burnout, not necessarily you growing your bank account, right? So this boundary that I love to have, that I actually got from like one of my spinning classes on Peloton, was like, if it's not growing my bank account or making me a better human, then I don't do it. So if it doesn't make me smile, it doesn't make my heart smile, it doesn't make somebody else smile, and if it's not growing my bank account, I don't do it. So start to like frame, like maybe you can come up with a statement like that or something like that that feels good to you, that's your boundary, right? And that helps you save time because you're not doing all the things. So look at the things that you do in a day and like energizer, drainer, energizer, drainer. Okay for me, not okay for me. Take things off to your list. It's the best feeling ever. So that's what we focus in the essentials. It's an 8-week program. It's a group coaching plus one-on-one coaching and group teaching onto doing the essentials to work less and to make more money. That's that in a nutshell. So early bird, like I'm not starting launching until Monday. So right now, if you join, it's $15.55. It's 8 weeks, all the support that you want, group work time, group Q&As, I can't talk today, group teaching, and one-on-one time. And so $15.55, we can do payments up to 5 months. And so it's actually really inexpensive for coaching to do that. So it is going up to $333 on Monday. So hop on board, send me a DMM. Oh my goodness, COVID brain, DM, not DMM, DM, if you are interested in working less and making more money. Like I'm all about the feeling light as a feather. I don't know if I told you guys the story about me feeling light as a feather, but I came across this like last summer. I was in a program and she had just like off the cuff mentioned something about feeling light as a feather. And I was like, oh, I love that phrase. And then I was fostering a dog at the time and we went for a walk. And like every walk we'd go on, I'd see a feather. And I could easily justify it as like, okay, there's crows everywhere, there's magpies everywhere, whatever. But I view it as a sign that this is my daily reminder to keep my business, to keep my life feeling light as a feather. And wherever there's a resistance, to take that resistance head on and to put a boundary around it. Because I want to feel light as a feather. I want to work less. I want to live my life and enjoy my life more. And I want to make more money. In making more money, you can do more good in the world for yourself, for your family, for others. So, yay. So that's that. If you want to join the essentials, $15.55, we can get like started today. And otherwise, the program actually only starts in the middle of March 14th, I believe is the date. And but yeah, it is going up to $333 on Monday. So DM me if you are interested, because this will change your business, this will change your life, and this will make you soulfully joyful. Anyways, hope boundaries was helpful, and I will talk to you soon.